Hi everybody. I'm just getting a couple more things set up and ready to go. I like to get started right at 4 or right on time, but then you have to wait till I get all my little set up and ready to go. I like to get started right at 4 or right on time. And then I need to turn down my video on my iPad apparently. Okay, I'm gonna adjust this just a little bit more apparently. My camera isn't exactly what I see through my phone. Okay, we're ready to go. So this is the card I'm going to make today with you. I am a part of a swap. Actually, I'm a part of 2 swaps where several people make cards and then we exchange them with each other. And so everybody has a little bit of everything instead of a whole lot of one thing. So this is the card I'm making for my swaps. And it is using primarily the Basket of Blooms set that is in the new annual catalog. It is this one. If you haven't received it and you would like to, and you don't already have a demonstrator that you are working with, please let me know. I would be happy to get one to you. So, Basket of Blooms is on page, let me see here. I should have looked that up. Page 48. If you are looking for it in your catalog, it's right here. It uses, or excuse me, it coordinates with the little punch that was one of the items that you could earn through Celebration. So that is, and it's also for sale in here. Anyway, you might have earned it with your Celebration rewards back January through March. So there you go. All right, next up, let's see what else we have. I have 2 people watching. Cool. Let me see if I can. Hi, Kylene. I don't know who else is watching. Maybe it's counting me. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, this is using the Basket of Blooms, and then the little For You down here is using the Itty Bitty Greetings set, and it's a twofer, 2 for the price of 1. I'm choosing to use Poppy Parade, Crumb Cake, and Whisper White, and I'm using some ink pads and some blends on this. So I have a couple other things that we're going to work on as we go. So we're going to start with making the white piece. And to do that, we're going to need a stamping embossing machine. Haha. This is known as the Big Shot. It is retired. Our new machine is going to be available to demonstrators in August. It will be available to you in September, unless you'd like to join me, join my Craft and Country team. I would love to have you. But anyway, anytime you use a Big Shot, we're going to use it with dies. Let me get it over in the camera a little bit better. All right, we're going to use dies. This is the stitched rectangle die, one of them, one of the medium ones. Anyway, you place it on your paper. I have a magnetic platform, and there will be a magnetic platform with the new machine. I don't think it'll be available right away, but anyway, I try not to lay it this way unless I absolutely have to, because getting the rollers inside here to go over this bar all at once makes it a really tough crank. So I like to put it at an angle whenever I can. And then you put a plate on top and you crank it through. All right. Hi, Linda. So then we just peel our paper off. I'm going to set this aside for a moment because we'll be back to use that. And then gently press this out. You get to see all kinds of tools today. All right, and sometimes this doesn't want to come out very well. Just have to be patient. There we go. So like I said, this is the package of rectangle dies. There's probably 10 or 12 in there. And they leave this really nice stitching around the edge that I just love. So I've got most of them that have the stitching on the edge. So we're gonna set, let's see here for a minute. I'm also, since I told you I'm making swaps, I am making multiples. So I have my Stamparatus set up for the stamping of my flower pot. So let me get that put together. I don't use my Stamparatus unless I am making multiples or unless I'm doing some layering of some different stamps and colors, two-step stamping, that kind of thing. So what I have here, this is our Stamparatus. It's a stamping assistant, for lack of a better word that I can think of. Anyway, it comes with 2 plates, and the foam mat that I use is extra, but it's not that much extra. And then these sheets you can get also extra. But what it does is it helps you stamp in exactly the same spot every time. So, for example, so I am using the Memento ink. I'm butting this up in the corner, and that's where I have it kind of set. I am inking up the flower pot, and then there's a string that goes around the flower pot. So I'm inking that up also. So I'm going to come down and just press gently and then lift it up. This does have magnets that come with it that are very strong. You must keep them apart if you use them. I am not using them on this project because I am butting it up in the corner every time and it just makes it faster. And then I'm going to come across with the other one, and now I have my flower pot with the string on it. Let me show you one thing. I do have another one that I already had cut out. So for example, say you inked this up and you stamped it and you went, oh, I wanted it darker than that. I wonder what I did wrong. You can go ahead and ink it up, and it will stamp it in the same spot, and you can do it as many times as you need to get the impression that you want. As long as we're in here, we'll finish this. I hope you don't feel spoiled 2 videos in 1 week, but I am on a roll maybe. I don't know. It'd be awesome. So now we have 2 flower pots. You can't store these closed like this. I take one off. There are so many things you can do with Stamparatus because I could do multiples and move this down and stamp another pot. And I'd like to do some more videos on the Stamparatus, but I have not got it done. Maybe soon. So I'll set the Stamparatus aside. Now we've got our little flower pot, and we're going to go ahead and work on that. I created a mask for the flower pot out of a Post-it note. I stamped, oh, excuse me, I got hiccups. I stamped on a Post-it note, just a regular old Post-it note, and then I cut it out with scissors. And I'm going to put it down on over the top of my flower pot. Next, I'm going to use this tall stem looking branch, I guess. I don't know what to call it. I'm also going to use Shaded Spruce ink. And this is one of our newer cases. And if you're not careful, you get some damage to them. You just pull it and then push it. I honestly think the new In Color stamp pads, ink pads, are easier to open than this one. I have a blip in my pad. Just a second. I don't know what I got in there, but it's weird. Kind of like a dried little spot. Oh well, it worked well last night. I'm sure it will work well today. I can probably set this here now so that you kind of know what we're doing still. Anyway, we're going to ink this up, and I am going to use blends with this too. Our ink pads are water-based, and so they, they clean up nicer. So I'm just going to eyeball this. Oh, and I messed up a little bit. When you're using our photopolymer stamps, it works best if you have a little mat or something underneath it. So I just have this paper piercing mat and a scrap piece of paper. I'm not going over, so I really wouldn't need the paper, but old habits die hard. All right, I'm just gonna put a couple branches in here, or stems, or whatever you wanna call it, for my little flowers. My little poppy parade flowers. Like I said, there's no rhyme or reason here. And I use a chamois to clean that so I don't get it all over a finished card or something. With the Stamparatus, if you want to clean your stamp between, you could just take a chamois and clean off your die or your stamp. I hope everyone has some great Friday plans. Oh, I have a blip there. Wouldn't you know it? That must have come from the corner of my ink pad or something. Oh, we'll cover it up with a flower. The joys of embellishments. I have ink all over me. Wouldn't you know it? I'm just cleaning up with the chamois. Hopefully that'll work. All right. So then you just peel off your mask. That's what that would be called. And there you have it. You have your flower pot with your little stems coming out of it. I'm going to use my Stampin' Blend. They are packaged together now in a light and a dark. This is Shaded Spruce, just like this is. Stampin' Up's products color coordinate, so Shaded Spruce through everything will look the same. We have paper, we have some ribbon, there's other markers that are water-based markers. These are alcohol-based markers. I'm going to use the light on this, and I'm not going to use it as a blend. I'm just mostly using it as a marker, but I'm just going to color it in lightly. I don't want to color it a whole lot because I don't want to smear that water-based marker much. So I just am coloring it in, just coloring in lightly. I hope everyone has some great fun plans for the weekend. I do not. I think my kids might be going to the lake, but I do not have any plans. So who knows? You never know. There might be a video tomorrow. Kind of on a roll. I have over 20 of these cards to make, so I just thought I'd pop in, and while I was doing them and I had everything ready to go, I thought I'd stop in and share a quick card with you using this stamp set. I checked on Pinterest and they don't have a whole lot with this stamp set, so this is kind of my creation, which is fine. I don't have to always find other ideas on Pinterest. I can be creative and make my own. So write in the comments what you're planning on doing. Oh yeah, crafting at Cheryl's. That would be fun, Kylene. You're welcome out here. Just know that my craft room is kind of evolved in my living room. My family doesn't really care for it too much, but when I was empty nesting, it kind of worked out really well, actually. Not to mention for videos, my lighting is so much better. So it's where I am for now. They only whine about it about once a week. All right, I've almost got this colored. Sorry you had to sit through that part. I guess there's a little more coloring. I will color the flower pot like you do with the blends. Okay, so I'm gonna use light Cajun Craze. I was hoping we had the terracotta tile, but we didn't. So I'm going with this color instead. I'm gonna get rid of the matte. I don't need it now. Okay, so you start off with the light. And you kind of color the whole thing, because what you're doing is you're getting your paper a little wet, a little juicy. And you're not making this, you're not needing this to be perfect right now. Okay. And then you come in with the dark. I really like the brush slide. I know there's some people that really like the other. And any place you think that there would be a shadow or any kind of anything, any kind of image, you know, like the bottom of the pot's gonna be a little darker. Under the rim, in my opinion, would be a little darker, maybe. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Then you take the light again, and I have the best luck if I make little circles. And I'm just going to color over everything all over again. And this is where I'm going to fill in any white spots there are. These markers, you have to use the Memento ink pad. Right now, Stampin' Up! Is having a hard time getting their ink pads. They made it all the way to Washington, I believe sometime in March. And then the port shut down, and they have not been able to get them since. So if you don't have a Memento pad, be patient or order it somewhere else just this one time. Okay, I didn't say that. Haha. Okay, so now it'll get a little drier, so it'll look more like this while we're waiting. Now, I did pre-punch my flowers. I colored them last night. I didn't know I was going to do a Facebook Live, and so I went through and I stamped them with the Poppy Parade ink pad, and then I colored them with the light Poppy Parade. And then I am going to add a little yellow. I decided I really do like the yellow, but I didn't put it on that one. So I'm just going to put, this is the Dark Daffodil Delight, because most flowers have yellow centers. So there we go. Okay. I am also going to take the crumb cake, and I'm going to add just kind of a shadowy table underneath it. Nothing real major. Nothing fancy. Just make it look like it's sitting on something and not floating in the air. All right. I'm going to use some glue dots to put the flowers on. And I like to use, I like to use some type of piercing tool or sharp pointed tool. This is our all-in-one tool. Is that what it's called? I just went blank. Anyway, it has putty on one end to pick up like sequins and that kind of stuff. And then the other end, I can have a paper piercing tool, a spatula, and then there's another piece to it that, a take your pick tool. Yay, I remembered it before we went off. I'm still looking for the other part. There's a stylus part too. These all come as one. And then you can get an add-on that is a die brush that takes those little tiny pieces out when you're using the dies. And I'll show you that another time. The spatula is handy when you're using embellishments. Also, I'm going to use the paper piercing end, and I'm just going to pick up a glue dot and put it on the back. You can use your snips, whatever you want. And we are going to strategically put one flower right over that blip of green. See, you can put them anywhere you want. Okay, the next one. I'll put one up higher. I have no idea what kind of plant this could be. It's a Cheryl Wright original, maybe. Poppy colored flowers. There we go. And that is our, oh, I guess we have one more part. I was going to leave it like that, but I decided that I wanted to add a little bit more to it. So I used this punch. This punch is one of our new ones. I think it's, I don't know the name of it. It is in our new catalog. It coordinates with one of the stamp sets. I will show you in just a minute. But this you can put in 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, or inch pieces. Same thing here. And, oh, I thought I had a paper. Well, we'll try this one. This was one I was thinking of using. Anyway, you put it in. You just slide it in. And this one's too short. Okay. Anyway, I'll show you what I have. This one, I just slipped it in and punch, and then you get this nice little end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp on that. Let me just show you that bundle. And I have the For You from the Itty Bitty Greeting set that I showed you earlier. And I'm just going to use Memento on this also, just because I want a black ink on there. And I'm going to put it, hopefully you're not getting my head in the shot. There we go. Perfect. I know what I can do. I'll show it to you in a minute. All right, my snips have walked away. Oh, there they are. I am just going to cut this end off and set that aside for a second, and then I can show you what this looks like. I mean, I kind of did anyway, but anyway, so this is a 1/2 inch piece of paper. You can see it from the back. It just lines up that way. If you are using this, check to make sure it is lining up, or you might get something that's just a little off. You can slide it over with a little tip or something. So anyway, now it's ready to go again. So I have this For You. That worked out perfectly because now this is a little bit drier. We don't currently sell this punch, but this is a retired Stampin' Up! Punch. You could probably just use a paper piercing tool to punch the hole in it. I don't know why Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell these anymore, but they don't. So now we have it For You. Now we'll take some linen thread. I love the linen thread. And I don't need a lot of it. And I'm going to, if you have little bends in your linen thread because it was wrapped around the cardboard, you can take your bone folder and just smooth it out. And take those bends right out of it. Okay, what end looks better? This end looks better. So I'm going to thread this through. Looks like I lost some of my people. Anyway, just going to tie a basic bow. And another one. Tighten it up a little bit. Oh, almost went too far with that one. And snip off the extra. I'm going to get another glue dot. I'm going to make this look like it's actually where it's tied on the pot. Hopefully, that's my idea. My bow's wonky. Just a second. Can't, I gotta fix my wonky bow. And I need my glue dots. There we go. Grab another one. Put it on the back. I'm going to put it up toward the top so I can match it up. And then I'm going to kind of line it up where that would be. Kind of at an angle. So it looks like that's kind of where it's supposed to be. All right, the white part is ready. Our card is going to be done rather quickly here. I'm going to set this aside because I need my Big Shot back out again. And my Big Shot, like I said, is retired, but it is going to be replaced by the Stampin' Up! Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. There's a large one and a mini. So this one, we're going to use an embossing folder. I love embossing folders. This is from the Ornate Garden Suite folder. The Ornate Garden Collection. And I'm not sure what the name of it is. I can look this one up for you too. Anyway, I label mine if they need my blue plate because like I said, this is older. And so I need to use my blue plate with this. This is even older than the ones they were selling recently. And I have to use it on my one sleeve. Some of these plates, they got to be separated after the update. So on an embossing folder, the images, it's going to raise the image on the paper. So this one, I don't have to be precise on it. I can just lay it in here. There are lines on this side if I wanted to make this straight, but where this is just random flowers, I don't have to. And then I put this, I'm going to start it over here. You put this flat down, Stampin' Up! Label up, and the fold always goes in first. Now I'm going to set my plate over the top of it, and then I'm just going to crank it through. And the image from the embossing folder is going to now be on the paper. Just like that. It's all these cute little flowers. I thought it matched my design of my flower fairly okay. See, there's random leaves and little red flowers. It works, don't you think? Give me a thumbs up if you think it works. All right, we're done with this, so we can set this aside. So now we have most of our pieces ready to go. I do have to have a piece of cardstock, of crumb cake cardstock. I chose to do this card with the cardstock going. I chose this card to open this way. So I cut my cardstock opposite what I would have normally, which is fine. So I did score mine. Stampin' Up! Paper can be scored and then folded either way. The fibers are in there in just the right way that you can fold it any way you want and you will not break the paper. So there we go. I do score it so it will lay flat, especially when I'm going to take pictures of it for some reason or another. Sometimes my cutting blade leaves a little ridge. I'm trying to use up some old cutting blades, so I'm just going to put this here. I'm going to use the new Stampin' Seal. We have Stampin' Seal and Stampin' Seal Plus. Stampin' Seal replaces Snail. Stampin' Seal Plus is about the same as our Fast Fuse was. Stampin' Seal is better than Snail. Snail, I don't know. It just wasn't as strong as I'd like it to have been. But Stampin' Seal is wonderful. I have had no problems with it. I've been using it for a couple of weeks. I keep it packaged so I remember to tell you about both. Stamp and Seal Plus you'd probably use for more like 3D projects or something that you were worried about really bonding. But for just putting two pieces of paper together, Stamp and Seal works great. And it's just a little bit cheaper. You just drag it across the paper like so. And it comes out. You don't have to do the little check mark like you used to with the fast views. If it gets, if you can't get any out, you just roll it a little bit with your finger and it comes right out. So now I get to try to line this up and eyeball it. Hopefully, okay, I will use my grid a little bit. All right. How's it looking on your end? Pretty okay? All right. I yanked it off that corner. I might have to put a little glue dot on that corner. Oh well, okay. And then I'm going to use dimensionals on this. My dimensionals. I guess I have some little ones out. I had some big ones out. But who knows where they are now. I get set up for these things and everything's just where I need it. And then by the end, everything is all over the place. All right, so put some minis on this. Minis or big ones, it doesn't matter. And these little, peel these off. And attach it to the card. Oh, not quite there. Like I said, eyeballing it works, but I'm kind of picky as to where it goes. Bottom needs to come over. I can usually get the dimensionals to cooperate until I push down, and then it might be too late after that. All right, I think we're gonna call it good. Oh, this looks like it could come over just a little bit. I know, I could do this for an hour. There, we are done. So that's my swap card using the Basket of Bloom set and the Itty Bitty Greetings to make this little card. Let me tell you again what that punch was. That punch was a part of a bundle, meaning you get 10% off if you order it together at the same time using the code. This is the bundle, Lovely You bundle. It is the Lovely Labels Pick-Up Punch right down here. I don't know if you can see it. I've got glue everywhere. All right. So these would be considered tool stamp bundles. These are the ones that come with the punch. And this is our new machine that will be available to demonstrators. And these are die stamp. So these also would be bundles. And right now, if you'd like to join my Craft and Country team, or a silver team, anyway, you can get the starter kit for $99. You get to pick $125 out of merchandise, anything you want. And then you'll get free shipping, you'll get a free paper pumpkin kit, you'll get free business, not free, but you'll get business supplies. All these things will be included for $99 plus free, there's no shipping charges. That's the normal starter kit, but for the month of June, you can get any one of these bundles, and like this one's $54. Any of these bundles you can get in addition for free if you join and get the starter kit in June. I would love to have you join us. We have fun and we're a small team and growing. So that is that. The other offer they have, which is really rare for them to have two offers at the same time, the other offer they have right now is a host special, and this is usually what you earn. You would earn for $150 in party sales or an order, or you and a friend or whatever else. You earn 10% up to $300 where you earn 12%. But right now there is a promotion that if you have a $250 order, you'll get $25 extra above and beyond what you would normally get. So that would be, since it's 10% at $250, you're already earning $25, and this would be an additional $25. So you'd have $50 in free product that you could earn. That's the only way you can get these stamp sets back at the back. So thank you for watching. If you'd like to order or have any questions or join or anything, you can contact me at craftingwithme.stampinup.net. My host code this month, if your order is less than $150, is right here. If you have an order of over $150, do not use that, because then you earn the Stampin' Rewards that I was just sharing with you. Remember the $150? Otherwise, if you want a catalog, get in touch with me. If you have any questions, let me know. Here's our project once again. And I have 2 done, and I have about 24 left to go. So if you have any questions, let me know. I would like to thank everyone for stopping in. I see Jaxie has joined us also. So yes, have a good night and a great weekend. Take care. We'll move them over for a little bit of a photo op. Have a good night. Thank you.